Dear Mr. President was released December 21, 2006. This was during the war in Iraq and George W. Bush's presidency. These events changed the literature of this time. Some people rebelled the war, like in this song, and some supported it and their pride in America grew. They had the idea of, don't mess with us or else we'll get you back. Others, of course, supported peace. The change in literature was brought on by the Vietnam War, which was when For What It's Worth was released in January 9, 1967. This song, like many of this time, spoke out against the war. This war changed people's perspective, therefore it changed the literature. For What It's Worth, like a lot of songs in the 60s, disagreed with the government and what was going on in society. Many young people, including the speaker of this song, are speaking their minds about the things going on in their country. The speaker is paranoid with what the country is going to come to and is a part of strikes to tell the government what's going on is not okay. He says, 1,000 people in the street singing songs and carrying signs mostly say hooray for our side. Dear Mr. President was written directly for the president to hear. It sounds as if the speaker is having a conversation with Bush. Pink tells him about how horrible our society is and how awful the war is. She believes this is all the president's fault and rebels his ideas. She does not look at him as an authority figure, but more as someone who needs to learn through others' experiences. Both of these songs hold characteristics of postmodernism. The characteristic of postmodernism is to reject higher authority and make your own ideas and decisions. Two different sides of human nature are shown in these songs. And For What It's Worth, people have the right to question. Just because you are going to war does not mean you have to accept it and think it is the right thing to do. You should not be afraid to question what is going on, even if some people say it is the right thing, does not mean it actually is. And Dear Mr. President, the people making the decisions for the country have no idea how it affects the average person. They have never gone through the same struggles. The people in charge should be helping and listening to what the average person needs. They are trying to have too much regulation over people's lives. If you disagree with what authority says is right, then you are immediately wrong. The government is judging people's human nature. The American dream, according to Pink, would be peace and equality. She believes everyone should be treated as equals. Therefore, their opinions should be heard. She speaks about all the inequalities, not just in America, but in the world. She's trying to tell the president to address these issues. She quotes, "Let me tell you about hard work, minimum wage with a baby on the way. Let me tell you about hard work, rebuilding your house after the bombs took them away. Let me tell you about hard work, building a bed out of a cardboard box. Let me tell you about hard work." Her American dream would be for these inequalities to end and for the fighting to end so everyone could live peacefully. The American dream, according to Stephen Stills, would be for everyone's voice to be heard and to be thought of. He states, "Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds." This relates to modernism because the modernists believe in having your own ideas instead of relying on authority to tell you what is right and what is wrong. It is important for people to have their own opinions and voice them out because authority may not always be right. This goes along with the idea of the postmodernist hero. It is someone who stands up for what they believe in and takes the risks that others may not be willing to do. The characters in both of these songs hold traits because they are standing up to what the government is doing. Postmodernists began to withdraw themselves from traditional religious beliefs and think for their own what they believe in. There could be more ways to get to God than just through Jesus. The past religious beliefs are not necessarily correct. Postmodernists challenged the ideas and began to create their own new beliefs. This idea is not shown in For What It's Worth. But in Dear Mr. President, it mentions more conservative ideas. Pink addresses the idea of the president disagreeing with homosexuality. This is a traditional religious belief, and it became more tolerable during the postmodernism period. Bush displays traditional thinking about women's significance and the toleration of homosexuality. Pink states, "What kind of father would take his own daughter's rights away, and what kind of father might hate his own daughter if she were gay?" Postmodernists believe that nature is sacred. They think they should try to preserve the beauty of the earth and not destroy the whole earth with civilization. These ideas of nature are important to the postmodernism literary period. but they are not present in Dear Mr. President or in For What It's Worth.